All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Cause. I decided to do a recorded video today because we streamed yesterday and the market really has not moved too much since then. So figured I would just do a quicker recorded one because I don't think we need to cover quite as much today. As always, these streams and videos are brought to you by Bybit. If you're interested in checking them out, check out the link in the description. You can sign up there, and as always, feel free to reach out if you ever have any questions about the platform itself. So let's start with Bitcoin. We had this nice impulse off the lows, range lows that we've been looking at for a long time. This is around our sixth test of it, so I'm not sure if this is our actual bottom or if we're just gonna do something like this and then go back down. We'll see what happens. We'll take it one day at a time. I would like to get a bit of a pullback first to around Monday's low and then up from there, and then basically I just want to see if we can attack all these lower highs right there. I'm not necessarily expecting it to come up to 41 and 42 to take out these range highs that we have not touched yet, but I would like to at least see a move onto these highs. So the more bullish scenario would be, either just go straight from here, but that's obviously pretty bullish. What I'm kind of looking for, though, in terms of positioning myself to get long, is a pullback to either of these two areas. Monday's mid-range, which has also been like a really clean SR level throughout this whole zone. Right, so support here, resistance there. If we come back down, I would expect that to hold as support. And then Monday's low, obviously it was support here. That's where we had this initial bounce from, built up support down here. So I really would not want to see this level break, but I do think it could come as low as 30.1, and that is support from this low right there. So let me clean a little bit of that up. So there are a couple ways to play this. Either, let me go back. You could be in longs right now. The weekly open has held nicely, so I do think it is possible that we just push from here. If you were long, you probably have your stop at one of these two levels, but I'm not confident enough in us pushing up from here and don't really love the invalidation area for being long right here. However, what I'm looking for is either we break down below this level, lose the weekly open, lose Monday's high, break structure because we would have broken down below this consolidation, and then we look for a move down to Monday's low. So you would be able to take a short from this. You could probably get away with a stop loss right there, be a nice 2.5 hour trade. So that's one of the main scenarios I am watching, and if we do break down below that weekly open, I think that does kind of confirm the near-term downside. If you don't feel comfortable taking the short, though, you can just wait for this to play out and then look for longs here, taking it back in the other direction. And if you don't want to buy it when it's down there, you could just let it do its thing, and then once it gets back above Monday's high in the weekly open, I would expect the low to be in here, and then if you are long from this area, you could move your stop loss up, or if you get long up here, you could chuck a stop loss down here instead of at the low and get a little bit tighter of an invalidation. So those are kind of the main scenarios I see with Bitcoin. If it does just push from here, we'll have to reassess and form some new plans, because right now it's too extended for me to just long it right here, but it's a little too strong for me to just short it for no reason. So I really need to see us get back to around this level for a possible setup. You could say it's kind of broken out of this range and you want to see it hold, but I just don't love it. And I'm comfortable with my spot exposure where I don't feel the need to FOMO into a long, because if it does happen to push, I have exposure anyway. So that helps take away some of the FOMO, I guess. But yeah, I guess the main scenarios would be a short on this breakdown, and then a long on a retest of Monday's low. If I had to summarize it in one screenshot, which I'll probably post on Twitter, make it look a little nicer, but that's probably what it would look like. Those would be the two scenarios that I would want to see to take a trade on Bitcoin. And then for Ethereum, I posted this earlier, but it kind of seems like we have a little bit of a triangle going on. It's mostly a meme, but we do see these triangle fake outs happen pretty frequently. So if Bitcoin does follow the bearish scenario, not bearish scenario, but the pullback scenario where it breaks below the weekly open and Monday's high, then I would be looking for Ethereum to do something similar. You could try and get a short sooner on Ethereum with even tighter of an invalidation. I kind of would have wanted this to push up a little more because these highs look a little weird now, but it's not the end of the world. On the other hand, I mean, unless you're taking the short off of this level, which I would say is more risky, but obviously would have a really tight invalidation, I like the short plan more on Bitcoin, just because this consolidation looks a bit more clean and it's around some key levels on Bitcoin, whereas on Ethereum, this isn't quite as clean and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in terms of where the weekly open and Monday's high are. Let's see where the weekly open is. I knew it was somewhere down there. Okay, so yeah, I don't think the short scenario looks quite as good on Ethereum. And if you really waited for the confirmation of this breakdown, I mean, would you also then want to wait for Monday's high because those don't line up too well? And then at that point, it's just not really a trade I'd be interested in taking. Oops. So I'd be much more interested in looking for a long on Ethereum, whether that is around here or around here or even around the weekly open. So pretty much anywhere in here, I will start paying closer attention to Ethereum and developing some more clear plans. But for now, I would try to time it with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin comes down to here to this 30.4 thousand, I'll take a look at Ethereum, see if we're like building up some bullish structure around here, or if that's happening around here, then wherever that is, I would try and time them together and then execute accordingly. And at that time, we'll look at Ethereum, ETH BTC as well to kind of see where we think more of the strength is going to be. But I think we can use Bitcoin to our advantage because it looks a bit cleaner, and then time it like that instead. We do have this SR level on Ethereum. I might have marked this on the other chart too. This was kind of what I had earlier, but a break below that SR level could be a good setup, but I would want to see what Bitcoin is doing at that time. So less clear plans for Ethereum, want to time them together, and for now I would still say these are the main things I'll be looking for going into the weekend, and if either of them trigger, I will be sure to post an update on Twitter as soon as I can, following the trade, to keep you guys posted on what I'm doing. So kept it under 10 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you appreciate the streams and the videos, once again, feel free to check out Bybit with the link down below, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.